say that the Taliban will be allowed to go home, you know, just give up your weapons, you can go back to your farms, you can all be good Afghans again, everyone will get on in peace. This was a slap in the face for America. I mean, they wanted people on trial, they wanted people punished, they certainly wanted the top Al-Qaeda guys and any of the sort of lesser lieutenants, they all wanted those guys in jail. And the implication is preferably killed. I mean, they were giving Dustom all the weapons and all the money he needed to be able to finish these guys off.
We went into Kalai-Jangir to follow the negotiations between the Northern Alliance and that Mullah Fazil, the leader of the northern faction of the Taliban. And Fazil had promised that even all the foreign fighters would obey his orders and surrender.
Here's how things work in Afghanistan. If two villages fight and you kill everybody in that village, you are reviled. But if two people have a disagreement from two villages and you can work out a negotiated settlement between two, then you're respected. And what Dustom has always done is use force to say, look, I have force. I can conquer you. But let's sit down and talk about this.
They had negotiated surrender within 3 days, which meant Sunday. But Saturday morning, some contacts we had in Mazar told us go a little east towards Kunduz and you will see 500 Taliban foreign fighters surrender. That's a good story. Quite distant, like a mile away, through the binoculars we could see a couple of trucks and people in the desert. And that was the Taliban preparing their surrender. The Americans circling over the scene. Dustom was there, explaining that the foreign fighters should be handed over to the UN.
I mean, he said it over and over again. You know, the only way to unite Afghanistan is to play the big man and to kind of forgive.
That's the first truck arriving with the foreign Taliban fighters.
Pakistan?
Obviously not Afghan. That was only a very small faction of the Taliban, and thousands of them were in Kunduz. And Dustom went on to Kunduz for the surrender of the main force of the Taliban.
These are the very people who, up until 2 weeks before, had ruled this town for 3 years through terror.
The Americans said, no, don't keep them here, send them to Kalai-Jangir, which means House of the Soldier or House of War. It's a garrison. And Kalai-Jangir really is the only large area that has walls that you can control people in.
It rises out of the plain, a little like a Fata Morgana. I think it's 18th or 19th century. It looks old, and behind it you have the mountains. So it's quite a picture. Dustom has his headquarters there.
The weapons were handed over. They physically searched the men on 3 of the trucks, and then 2 of the trucks they just said, go, go, go before it gets dark. They were driven through town and then taken to Kalai-Jangir.